Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing a kind of girl on the go makeup tutorial. It's going to be very quick, it's going to be very simple, there's not a lot of products involved, not a lot of tools involved. If you are in a hurry or you don't have a lot of time in the morning to be wasting an hour on your makeup like some people that I know do, me. These are just some of the products and some of the ways I just do my makeup if I'm in a real big hurry and I don't want to waste a lot of time doing a full face. It does have pretty good coverage, but it's not like my usual full coverage foundation routine. There's not a lot of blush or tons of product on my skin. It's just very nice and lightweight. It still gives me some coverage. And it's a very easy look that with just a little bit of black eyeliner and maybe a red lip, you can very easily just glam it up. Hopefully it just kind of gives you some inspiration. These are just kind of the things that I like to use because they're multifunctional. You can use some of these things for different reasons, things like that. I hope you guys like this video. Give it a thumbs up and subscribe and leave me a comment or just some positive feedback. I always love positive feedback. Hint, don't leave negative feedback. So if you are interested in seeing how I achieve just a simple and quick, easy makeup look, just keep watching. Okay, first I'm going to start off by using the Becca Backlight Primer. So if you know you're going to be out all day long, you might as well have a primer on just to help make your makeup last that much longer because you don't want to be in the middle of doing something and you just start feeling gross. So that's a really nice primer because it just gives a very glowy and a very luminous feel to it. So even if you have oily skin, it's actually very kind of like satiny on the skin, so it's not gonna leave like a greasy or an oily feeling after you put it on. Next I'm going to take Lancome's Beyond Fay BB cream. It's a little dirty. I really like this BB cream though. I'm not a big fan of BB cream simply for the fact that a lot of them tend to be really thick and I don't like that. I don't even like typically real thick foundations just because I think they're just way too hard to move. So this is about the same consistency of every other foundation that I like. It's just probably a little bit more sheer. Actually, it's a lot more sheer. I'm just going to use a Real Techniques buffing brush just to work that onto the skin. So I do have a little bit, of redness on the skin. It's nothing serious. I don't have any skin issues with redness typically. It's just, I guess, how my skin is feeling this morning. And this BB cream is actually helping cover it up just a little bit, but I also have a few blemishes on the skin too, which it's not doing such a great job at covering. Normally I would go in with a thicker concealer and try to cover those up a little bit more, but I'm trying to get ready in a hurry. And I'm not going to have the time to worry about making sure every single little blemish is covered, so I'm just kind of going to work with what I got. Always bring some down the neck. This color actually matches me very well. This is shade 1 Natural. And I'm going to put some on my eyelids too because I'm not going to use a primer for my eyelids like I typically do for eyeshadow. You can still kind of see I got a few little red spots that come out, but I am going to add a little bit of powder just to kind of help set that for the day. Alright, so I'm using a little bit of concealer just to cover up any darkness under the eyes. I am just using the Naked Skin by Urban Decay. I like this. It's very lightweight. It's not real heavy. And I'm just going to go in using a cat's tongue brush. Nobody uses these brushes anymore, but it's just what I happen to grab. And I'm just going to buff that into the skin. And I'm going to pop that on my eyelid as well. Bring it up to the eyebrow. Next, I'm just going to go in with my Clinique Stay Matte, Stay Sheer powder. And I'm going to use, again, my big fluffy Clinique powder brush. And I'm just going to press that into the skin. I don't like to swipe with my powder when I apply it, only because I don't want to move or disturb any of the foundation that I've already put down. So just by pressing it into the skin, It's going to help kind of fill in any little gaps or holes that I might have missed with my foundation. I always have to apply powder because I don't want my foundation to look greasy on my skin, which it always ends up looking. So I always have to go in and apply a powder just to kind of mattify things a bit and not make it look too dewy looking on the borderline of being like greasy looking. So I really like this Hourglass Ambient Lighting Palette. Looks like these. I love this because it has like a very light bronzer, it has a really pretty highlighting powder, and then like another kind of softer highlighting powder. I use this pretty much for everything. If I'm really in a hurry, I use it for bronzing, I use it for highlighting, I use it for a little bit of eyeshadow, because I don't want to be digging around looking for all those items in my collection, and it helps me kind of just manage my time faster. So I'm going to go in with the bronzier shade with just a Morphe kind of, it's a blush brush. We're going to go ahead and just start working that on the skin. So I'm just working a bit of this bronzer just on the outer edges of my face, and even a little bit more on my cheekbones as well. Just because I don't want to go in with blush and add blush. So I'm just going to add a little bit of the bronzer on my cheekbones, and that's going to be my blush. And then I'm going to take a Coastal Scents. This is just kind of like a highlighting dual fiber brush. So I'm going to dip that in the middle shade. And that is just going to be my highlight. Then right down my nose, a little on the Cupid's bow. So for the eyes, first I'm going to take the Radiant Light shade, and with a big fluffy Morphe brush, I'm just going to work that all over the lid. Using this just as my all over color wash. It doesn't have to be super neat or super tidy. And so it's not completely flat. So you want to have a little bit of dimension on the lid. You don't want to go completely naked on the lid. And then I'm going to take that bronzy shade, which is called Dim Light. And that is just going to be on my lid and just a little above the crease as well. Then I'm going to take Lancome's Art Liner. This is in the shade Brown, and I'm just going to line my upper lash line just to darken up the root of my top lashes. It always has to get way too thick. So now I'm just softening up that liner, because we don't want it to be such a hard and jagged line. So I'm just taking a little bit of that Dim Light powder, even though it's very light. I'm just using it just to kind of help blend out that liner. I'm going in with Sephora's Contour Eye Pencil, 24-hour wear, and the shade is Cookie Crunch. And I'm just going to use that just to go and run my eyeliner from the outer corner just about halfway in. So I went ahead and did my brows off camera. I just used the Instant Brow Pencil from Benefit, and I didn't want to take like the 10 extra minutes that it takes for me to go in and actually shape my brows, give myself a nice arch, and do all that, because if I'm in a hurry, all I'm going to do is just take something like this that has a more waxy consistency, so the waxiness will actually hold the brows in place instead of me having to go in with a brow gel. So now all I would normally do after this is just add a little gloss, which normally would just be tossed into my purse, and I will just kind of grab it as I see fit. Alright guys, this concludes this makeup tutorial. I hope you liked it, and I'll see you in my next video.